Hello, good morning everyone, or good afternoon. Today we're doing a type of Marie Kondo video. So I have been following, last year I was following Marie Kondo's process, and this section is the paper process. So I filmed how I go about it because A, I went to art school, B, I had a really bad habit growing up of writing on tiny pieces of paper for whatever reason. Probably because it was during classes, and so I have a lot of tiny pieces of paper with some of them are good ideas for films or good ideas for art or scripts. So it's kind of an inconvenience because I have to find them all, or it's hard to get rid of them. There's also the other part of me that it's also just has a lot of papers, and I think most people do. So this is a little introduction because I didn't film an introduction. Okay.
Marie Kondo, as we all know, I'm on the tier called the paper tier or the paper category. I've been doing this one. I've been going through everything in my room, in my house, mostly everywhere I usually occupy. So my room, studio. I'm still going through the phases on my studio though. It needs help, but main thing is my room. So this week, and I'll show how things look possibly this week. So I reorganized and redid my closet. This is a speed up version of me going through my papers on the Marie Kondo's list. This is the paper tier, so I have a lot of papers in front of me. Let me show you. Everything's organized. The big bin is for books. The little blue one is a filing thing. A few books on top, magazines, and some notebooks. Here, the big one, full is all my folders. On top is all my sketchbooks. I actually think I have a few more sketchbooks. I have a drawer full of, on one side it's all full, the other side is pretty empty, but one side is mostly just sketchbooks and art books. And then I have a drawer in my room that's mostly comic books and then some chapter books I'm going to go through. And then I reorganized some of my books last night and put them organized into a shelving unit, since I can't get a shelving unit. So I just sort of redid part of my room. It's weird, but I live with my family, so I can't really pick if I want a bookshelf or not, even though I'm almost 25. The perks of living at home. I am donating some books. I have hit a point in my life, which I've never hit before. I probably should put this in my minimalism update, but I've never felt comfortable with parting with books. But I'm at a point now. I think it's age, wisdom, who knows what. I'm going through a lot too. I think we are. I think with quarantine I've been able to think more, and a lot of self-growth throughout this year. So I just met a point where I'm okay with parting with books, and I think it'll be good and kids can enjoy them. So I have a pile of books and a lot of binders. So a lot of my binders I emptied and I put everything into folders. So it's easier and takes up less space. And I think people want to, if I'm going to be donating them, so then people can also use them if they want. The first one is all my magazines, but I also have a second one. No, I have a second one. I have another thing that also has magazines, yeah. A lot of these are Teen Vogue, GL magazine, and some are a lot are from stores. So I wanted to save the ones from stores because in the future, when I have future kids possibly, I want them to know what kind of fashions I had growing up, because the 2000s was a very confusing time for fashion. It was some stuff was clear and some stuff was not clear. But if you look at clothing magazines, you can kind of get what was going on. With the 80s, it was a lot was going on and a lot was really cool. But the 2000s is kind of weird. I don't know. And I think with retro, it's you can look towards other magazines, and that's why if I ever find fashion magazines from older times, then I might buy them just so I can look at the clothing. So anyways, let's just get started with these. I'm not going to be tearing up my magazine. I can't, because one thing with magazines is that you can always cut out pictures and make a collage. So one of my art teachers, I think in middle school, taught us that. Middle school, high school. Sorry if you're watching this and you're just. Let's just start with not in order. I have this one. Really cool. The back. Look at that moment. And I also like seeing a lot of the photos because I also get ideas for photo shoots too. Not like this, but I just meant her. If you look at the lighting on her face, it's kind of nice. You can kind of get that lighting probably easily anywhere. Let's go to one I like in here. Look at this. Yes. So some moments in here are just really nice. Like advertisement ideas, how to do makeup, photography, just getting ideas from people that I remember looking for these magazines when I was younger. And to me, they're like really, really cool. Coach smells good still. Interesting Coach signature summer edition fragments. So yeah, a lot of this is just like inspiration for like photo shoots, um, fashion type, fashion type photography, stuff like that. Nothing like crazy. I mean, look at the prom. Prom is like when cocktail dresses are more the trend. I think it's kind of cool. I remember that, and I would have one for every homecoming dance with my friends. For prom though, I was more of a long dress kind of girl. This is really pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Stunning. Yeah. So I mostly had the 2 times I went to prom, long dresses. They're very like traditional and that sort of way. And we had themes, and I was in the nerd to follow the themes. So the theme for the first year was like red, white, and blue, and I chose blue. Yeah, I don't know. I get a lot of inspiration from the magazines. I have this one. You probably saw. If you ever want me to flip through the magazines, just ask. If I want to see the video where I just flip through magazines, I can do that. This one, I think I got that for a birthday. This one. This one. I really like the lighting on it too. I have justice. So like, I have a kid. Then I'm gonna point out every time they get to a certain year old. I'm gonna point out what it was like when I was that year. It might be funny. If you go through clothing, if you go through my specific high school, it was like trends. Middle school, it was like justice. And then once you got to 8th grade, it was mostly Aeropostale. And then high school, Hollister. There was time for wearing Abercrombie and Fitch, and then it went downhill quick, and I didn't like it either. And then Delia's around the same time as Hollister, and then there's mostly Hollister, and then in between with Hollister and Delia's Forever 21. So I want to say middle, that was like 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade was mostly like retro. I want to say 10th grade, either before or during is when I stopped wearing labels. And then senior year, just retro mostly, and just like Goodwill or consignment stores. Cause like I like retro style anyway. And then plus it was mostly Kohl's, Think Forever 21, Rue 21, Charlotte Russe, yeah. And that's kind of like what happened. It was that's pretty much all I can remember, I think. I don't really know if Rue 21 and Forever 21 were the same thing, but I feel like sometimes it could be, just like different styles, sort of. And then college. The only time I stopped wearing Forever 21 is when they started stealing artwork from artists. No offense, don't attack me. Do not attack me, store. Company, don't attack. This is just what I was told from friends and what I was told from the internet. Doesn't mean that I always listen to the internet, but when I was told from friends that did research and were actually in the fashion industry, then it's like, okay, that's really wrong, because I go to art school and like to me that's a big deal. So I stopped going there. But then Rue 21, I still was going to, but I don't know if it's the same thing. If anyone tells me, tell me in the comments, and I will stop going there. I do like their prices though, but I will stop going. So freshman year, Kohl's, Rue 21, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. Same with sophomore year. And then I was also still going to retro stores and like consignment stores, vintage. I was still doing that. Still do it now. I don't stop at vintage. And then I was going to Charlotte Russe a little more. TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Junior year, same thing. And then the year after, I think same thing. It's pretty much the same up until now. I don't like change. I think, but I also would like for pants. If I need Old Navy, then I'll go there. Because I was going to Hollister, for pants up until I want to say 10th grade. No, not 10th grade. Up until sophomore year of college. Then I realized through my blood, I think it was cutting off my circulation every time I walked in those pants, and it didn't feel right. So when I started buying pants from Kohl's, they didn't hold well. They weren't durable enough. And when I bought pants from TJ Maxx, but it was always a hit or miss. And then I got pants from Old Navy, and then luckily they did hold, so they are durable. I have one of my pairs is the Rockstar, and then I have another one, I'm forgetting. But I do want to get the flared out jeans. I miss those. I had them once in high school, and I miss them. It's a very, what feels like the suit in the story, Cinderella story, when she's wearing flared jeans and a green jacket, and it's in the part of the movie where Hilary Duff is like in the hallways and she's sad. The way the jeans looked, I really liked how they just looked. I think she could always rock the flared jeans. If you're watching, hi. And same with Ellie and AJ, they always could rock like the flared jeans. So that's why when I saw them wearing flared jeans, it's like, wow, I want flared jeans. But now even more so because the whole flared pants is in. And I like retro, and so it all kind of works. Next one, I have this one. Let's not make fun of me. Me and my friends were just huge into One Direction. And I was watching the Carrie Diaries in the year 2013. I forget what happened with the series. It's kind of strange at times. I think it's because I was young, and I think it was maybe for older. I have this magazine my mom got me. Like this poster, something about this artwork, I don't really understand. Oh my god, the artwork in these magazines is insane. I always love whoever does these artwork. It's so detailed. Oh my gosh, that CGI is just gorgeous. I can't help it. I saved all my brother's gaming former books because there was a lot of games growing up I wanted to play and never got to afford. So I'm like, I thought when I become an adult, then I can afford playing video games. Actually, I can't because of freaking bills. But I love holding on to the artwork. What I think I might do is, if I really need to, I think I'm gonna go through each of these different times and see the artwork on the front cover at least. It's kind of weird, but I really like the artwork. This one, because I think a child could know that, like, these jackets, something about peacoats, they do magic. Peacoats do magic. They always look good. Another one. I can see myself cutting this out and redoing the whole, like, just making it like a cool cutout picture. Same with this one, possibly. Like, just making it look like there's someone else. Because collage art is, like, really fun. This one, I think I already started ripping up, yeah. Her hairstyle reminds me of Lindsay Sterling when she came out with the song. If it wasn't crystallized, it might have been spontaneous. She had her hair like this one time. If you know what I'm talking about, put in the comments. But I love this idea, and I've never tried it, so I saved it because it's really cute. So I should go through these. I don't need them all, but I do think cutting them out and then like making collage photos would be really fun. Okay, I think this one specifically I don't really need. I think the other ones are just really cute. Ooh. I like that jacket. Dang, that jacket looks so good. Oh, what I say about the flare jeans. The flare jeans, what a staple, and she looks so tall. That looks great. As a short girl, I think it'd be awesome to look tall. I think we all knew skinny jeans was in. Also, in some ways, these outfits could prove that, like, hey, you know, like when parents say, oh, that's what I wore when I was younger, or whatever, and kids kind of, like, get weirded out by it. I think my mom was saying something about the 80s. I didn't like the 80s fashion for a very long time until I got older. Then I actually respected it and really liked it. But before that, I just didn't like any 80s fashion. It's kind of funny. But, so to prevent that, I want the kids to see, like, hey, literally, look at this, and now you know that what you're wearing came from this era. Just so you know. Dang, those are nice. I saw pants like this once in a store. They didn't fit me, and I really wanted them. They were just too tight. I couldn't make them work. Let's not body shame me. I never really understood these sweaters. I just don't understand. Short sleeves sweaters. They keep your torso warm. For any of these bathing suits went. Someone tell me where these bathing suits went. This one actually looks retro, this purple one, and it looks really cute. Because when you wear it, then if you get hungry at the beach, you can wear it without feeling guilty. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This sweater dress, very cute. I think on other people, but for me, I can imagine it clinging to my body everywhere. And then me not feeling comfortable at all. I should save this one so I never remember to buy it. This is interesting. It's like a modern teenager who thinks they're in Paris. I like the head of the bed too. It's cute. There's too many owls and too many. Oh my god. I love looking at t-shirts. The Converse advertisements always. It's very good. I miss that tear this whole. Oh, then I ruined the whole Converse. One thing, if you want to get upset about, is that I am throwing away all this paper. Well, actually, when you're a hoarder, or were a hoarder, you have to see it a different perspective and not get upset with me that I'm going to try making who wear those kind of shoes. I can try. I don't know how it would go. I'll make a folder just for that, just for magazines. I can always come back and like take more out. I can see this picture. She looks like she's going on a cute date in Italy. Skirts like that don't do me justice because I have hips. I have Italian hips. You can fight me on that. My family is from Italy, but I have hips. And dresses like that make me muffin top effect, but they just don't look good. They look very wrong on me. Hello, little editor insert. When I say hoarder, I'm not saying it in a bad way. And I feel like there's a stigma around the word hoarder, and I feel like people see that as like bad and like messed up, and they think of us as like dirty or gross or whatever. I feel like there's a lot of negative words that people put towards the word hoarder. It's not always the case, and yeah, I feel like many times these things come from like trauma or bad things going on in our lives, or like if we've lost somebody, we feel like we're unable to part with their things because we see that person in everything. If you watch the show, I haven't really seen the show, the Hoarders show, because actually it does, no offense, but like to me it scares me because I don't want that, you know. I think I've gone through a lot of my journey, and where am I at now? Currently in 2021 and in 2020, I realize when I walk into antique shops, I feel overwhelmed. There are too many things around me on the shelves. It depends where I'm at. Some are very organized, and some I feel like there's like a lot on the shelves, a lot around me, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I have never really felt that as a kid because I always found antique shops charming. This goes the same with like Savers and like just thrift shops. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm just to myself. I think another thing I do want to do an update about how I feel with minimalism. Definitely have had a lot of growth this year, and I definitely have made big headway on like how I see things and how I'm feeling and how I'm going about with things. So I will definitely be making an update because that's really important. And like I said, right now I feel like this word is just bad, but people can get better. People can. It takes a long time. Sometimes you need a whole support team. Sometimes you need therapy, and sometimes you need to. Sometimes therapy actually can help you find the root of why you do the things you do, or you may already know, or you may just not know. For me, it took TikTok, YouTube, watching certain people who are minimalists. And like, I'm like the one in my family that's not OCD, but I realize I am OCD, and I realized that from my job at Stop and Shop, when I would clean items, like say I'm washing a pan, I clean it twice. But at home I do that. When I was living in Boston doing my dishes, I clean things twice, and then sometimes I sniff them because I want to make sure they smell clean. I know that sounds really messed up. But then you look at my room and it's like, well, how can that be? She has all these things. But then why does she clean like this? Why does she clean things 2 times in a row to make sure that they're actually clean? I don't really know that part, but that's kind of like how I am. So if I was asked to do the dishes, it takes me a little bit longer to do, and I play music because I know it's going to take me so much time to do. And sometimes I just like using paper plates because it's just, I don't have enough time in my day to be doing that. I know that's not sustainable. I understand that. I feel like sometimes the word sustainability and minimalism, there's a way to do it. There really is. But if you're transitioning from like hoarder into that, that takes time. So people need to have patience. Like we're not going to be helping the planet overnight. We're going to try, but many times it takes little steps. It takes time. Knowing where I am now that I'm finishing school, I'm able to make this, like I can make more headway. But it's also the fault that I live at home, which I would like my own place. I just can't afford it because I need to get the job to do that. And You see what I mean? So I know it's not attractive to be living at home, as some people say, but I think it is attractive to have a family support system that helps you get through things. I think that is very important. I know it's not really attractive to say, but I think in my book it is helpful. I'm gonna try speeding up this video. What you're hearing is my thought process behind throwing things out, saying, "Oh, I might buy this in the future." No, I never bought that thing, but that's just one of the thoughts that happens. People say that that's something that people say, and literally that's how it is. Because I save things. I have at least 3 shirts in a closet, and those 3 shirts I hope to give to my future child. My mom didn't really give me any clothing from her era, like the 80s. I didn't get any clothing, but she wishes that she did give me clothing. She wishes a few items that like she kept so I could have. And I understand that part. But like I said, going back to the word hoarder, I feel like people just use it in a bad sense. There are ways people can get better. People can get better, and it may seem impossible. It may seem not even a possibility at all, but it takes time. You can't force a person out of their home, but that has happened to many people. And I don't know what that's like. I've lived in a dorm, and when I lived in a dorm, I felt like I had to really transition my life because I wasn't used to sharing a room with somebody else. I've never really shared a room with somebody else. And I see the faults now. I almost, like right now, hi, sophomore roommate, hi, freshman roommate, if you're watching this, I see the faults now. Even my junior roommate, I'm so sorry, we're still friends, but like, I am sorry. I can see that I had a problem then, because my desk was cluttery. I didn't have a sense of organization whatsoever. And it's not the part that I had to lose my career and lose my job, like my dream job. It's not that part that kicked in. It was working at Stop and Shop, realizing how I like things clean, working on my minimalism, working on myself, and a lot of that. TikTok's minimalism videos, like I said, Raw Alignment was one of the first channels I did watch that actually really helped. And just watching her minimalism closet, like realizing like this is important, and then realizing I would like a tiny home in the future. What kind of home do I like? What kind of home do I want? Like, I'm not always going to be living in my childhood home. Because my family's been reminding me for about 2 years now that, like, if one of my parents goes, we can't keep this house because we can't afford it. And knowing my career, my job, I don't know if I'll be able to afford this on my own. My brother's going to move out at some point. We already know that. He's already been talking about it. So, I definitely will be leaving my childhood home at some point. We just don't know when. And I need to be prepared. And because we're really downsizing. And downsizing means I won't have my space. I won't be having, like, who knows if I'll have a studio? I hope I do, but we don't really know exactly what things are going to look like. And I have to really downsize. So the need for that is going on now. And I think also the Swedish death cleaning, whatever that thing is, there's a name for it. That's also interesting because part of me thinks this is the craziness of me. I don't think I need some of the advertisements in here. I think that's okay that I don't have them. These are just home systems. The writer's room. I think some of these are also interesting to read about, learn, maybe for the stories about them. Yeah, throat hurts.